Channel, and if you're new here, welcome to First Love Yourself, where love, life, and Christ combine. I am so grateful to have you here with me on this journey of self discovery and empowerment. In today's video, we're going to talk about dependability. But before we get started, if you're new here, go ahead and hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out more uplifting content like this. So get comfortable because we are about to get into it. Let's go. So, what made me want to talk about dependability is earlier today, I was listening to this podcast, and they were just talking about how different people are treating each other and just maturity, being consistent, different things that we expect from other people. We don't really hold ourselves to the same standard. And it really made me think about how we have these lists that we create, how we have this criteria, these credentials and preferences. I'm not going to say standards because healthy standards are a good thing and boundaries. But we have these preferences that we like to call standards, and we make it seem as if someone has to be something that we're not. Sometimes in life we will be out and about, we'll meet someone, we will have friends, we will be at a job, and we want the job to treat us amazing, but we're not being an amazing employee. We want the friend to be the best friend ever to us, and we're not even a good friend to that person. We're not even making sure that we're there for them, being consistent in their life, not answering their phone calls or talking to them when they need us. We want to dump all of our stuff on them, and I'm just saying this as a statement, not as if I'm generalizing or trying to lump all of us together and saying that all people do this. Most people do this. Some people do this, but not all people. So I just want to make sure that I clarify that before moving on in this message. And as we take people for granted, as we do some of the wrong things in life, as we start to hold people to this unrealistic standard, we forget that we're not even doing those things, even in relationships. I will talk to a lot of women and a lot of men, and the women's list looks something like, oh, he's got to be 6 foot with a six pack with six figures, and he's got to be able to do this. He's got to be consistent in this, and consistent like at her beck and call, and not just like, oh yeah, he does stuff for me because he really likes me. Like a no, like it gets real serious, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And the list goes on and on, and it's like, oh, if he got me this would not be good enough. I need to have this and this. I'm trying to be on a jet flown somewhere. I'm trying to get flued out. Like this is how some of the women talk that I encounter, like as I make it through this journey. And I'm just like, what? What is happening right now? Why are you asking for that? But I mean, that's to each his own, because that might be what she might need. I don't know, but just saying. And the men's list could look something like, oh man, she gotta be bad as I don't know what. I want her to be able to do all of these things that someone that I'm looking for is not going to do. But as she needs to do all of these unrealistic things, I also want her face to look like amazing. I want her to have this hourglass figure, like looking like she just stepped off the front page of some magazine, some southern magazine or something. I need her to look like this complexion with this skin texture, and then I want her to be working some job where she is so enthralled in work that I want to be able to tell her that she needs to stay home and she don't need to do nothing else. Like, and I'm not gonna give her an option. She got to stay home because she's supposed to be obeying me. She's supposed to do whatever I say do whenever I say it. And I'm like, hold on, where is the disconnect happening? I don't understand where we get these preferences from. I'm like, oh my gosh. It's just so crazy. But yeah, and so I'll hear people say that. And then when I in turn ask them the question, for women, I say, okay, do you work out every day? Their answer is no, girl, I don't work out like that. I eat what I want, I do this, I do that, but my man gotta have a six pack because I'm trying to be looking at him. He's supposed to be like blah blah blah. And they got this like unrealistic. fantasy of the person that they want to be with. Like, if he don't come ready made, then he can't be with me. And I'm just like, okay. And then they'll be like, yeah, because I can't be with a guy who's, like this. He has to look like this. He has to talk like this. He has to walk like this. He has to be like this. And I'm like, so you and like 90% of other people want the same exact guy. This guy got the pick of the litter. And y'all all gonna fight over him. And you might not even be his type. And I'm not saying it because the ladies that I'm talking to are not beautiful or anything like that. But what if God said that's not what he wants for you? What if God has this man making 7 figures, making 4 figures? Okay, not four, but making 5 figures or something. What if God has this man on a journey to his destiny? And he might be the type of man that could be a millionaire, but maybe he's not there yet. What if God needs you to be a part of his life as his helpmate to get him to that place? Because with you being there with him for the person that he is and knowing that he has a purpose to fulfill allows him to be pushed into his destiny. Like, what if that was the thing? What if it's not really just like he just gonna come ready made just out of nowhere just because? And then you gonna meet him and all of a sudden he gonna be like Jesus. Like, what if that's not what it is? Are you going to be okay with that? And most women are like, no, I'm not settling for nothing. And I don't think people are going to probably get on me for saying this, but I don't really think that it's settling to be with someone for who they are and to know that a person has potential. I'm not saying you got some fantasy that you want this guy to live up to and you're like, yeah, I have so many hopes that this man who has shown no consistency, who isn't pursuing, who isn't a good person, is all of a sudden going to become a good person and do all the things I want him to do. I don't think that's realistic at all. I also don't think that expecting someone to just be everything on your list is realistic. I'm not saying that you should just lower your standards and have someone treat you like crap. I definitely don't agree with that. I also think that we have to start considering what it is that we are and be the thing that we want someone else to be. If we want someone to be consistent, we have to be consistent in our own life for ourselves, for our children, for our family members, for our friends. If you're not doing that for your family members, your friends, or yourself, why are you expecting this man to be something that you're not? If you are not working out every day, but you want this man to work out every day, you know what you got to do to get abs? I'm just saying, for women, it's real complicated. For men, I don't know if it's that complicated, but you got to eat healthy. You got to work out, like work out. You got to really be tearing muscles. You got to do a lot to get them abs. It's not just like you woke up like this. You really got to put in work. You know what I'm saying? And so I just think that we really got to give each other grace in certain areas. I'm not saying you should expect someone to just settle in all areas and just roll out of bed, not brush their teeth, look disheveled every day, work someplace and not be at their full potential or not have any aspirations or dreams or not have any goals for their life at all. I'm not saying any of those things are things that you should settle for. I'm also not saying that you wanting something or knowing what you need is unobtainable. I think that if you want to be treated well, you should be treated well. I don't think you should ever settle for somebody treating you like crap just because you say there's no good men. First of all, rebuke that statement because the power of the tongue is so powerful, and as a man thinketh, so is he. So we have to really be careful of the things that we're speaking because we are spelling things over our life. We are speaking that into existence. When you start to say, I was reading this book early this morning before I went to work by Brian Tracy, and I cannot remember the name of it because all of Brian Tracy's books, I just kind of like put in a pile and I'm like, okay, I'm going to read this. So I have like a huge thing, and then I do the audiobooks as well. And so in this book that Brian Tracy wrote, he talks about, the power of your thoughts and, the power of positive thinking or something like that is what it's called. And as you are thinking these negative things, that's all you see. your mind will start to specifically search for things that are negative because that's what you're speaking over your life. And so it's important for us to start speaking positively over our lives so we can start seeking the positive things, the blessings, the things that are adding to us instead of things that are taking away from us. It's important for us to start to build ourselves up so we can be the person that we were created to be instead of stagnating our growth. Another thing that was said in this video is that we only reach 10% of our fullest potential because we stunt our own growth. And I thought that was so cool to hear in a way, because can you imagine if the paycheck that you have right now is only 10% of what you could actually make? Like imagine if you could make 10 times more than the amount that you're making right now. Imagine if you could be the type of person who could be at 10% better than you are right now. Like 10 times better than you are right now, I would say, or rather. And so that would be awesome. But we stand in our own way. We put these unrealistic standards on other people, for the people that we are searching for romantically, for the friends that we want to have, for the job that we think is going to be the dream job. Even the dream job is going to have pros and cons. Even that dream job is going to have challenges. But it's not for you to look for all the negative and all of these things that you're blessed with. It's for you to look at the positive in the things that you do have so that you can get more of those positive things in your life. And I didn't leave the men out. I'm not trying to get on one and not the other, anything like that. But for the men that are saying that you want a woman with this hourglass figure, who's got the perfect personality, who's emotionally intelligent, who is, just like wholesome, but also, the other thing that a lot of men like to say, I'm not going to break it down. You just have to read between the lines. And you want all of that in this one woman. You can't expect her to be two people. She's going to be one person or the other. And I'm not saying that, and some guy out there who got the exception is going to say, but my woman does this, this, and this. We're not talking about you. Stay over there. Anyways, but I'm saying that if you're not the type of man who works out every day, don't expect a woman to work out every day. If you're not the type of man who's got the hustle and bustle, don't expect your woman to have the hustle and bustle. If you're not the type of man that creates a space to make a woman feel safe enough to be able to sit down somewhere, to be submissive, to obey you, and I know those are real words, that trigger words for a lot of people, then you're not going to get that. You might get it from somebody that's trying to use you, but you're not going to get it from a real woman. I'm just letting you know right now. And I'm not saying it to hurt your feelings, to be harsh, anything like that. But we have to be realistic of what we're asking for. If you want a real woman, it's going to come with real work. It's not going to come with just, oh yeah, all of a sudden she's just going to be like, okay, I don't know you, but I submit to you. That's not how it works. It's going to be more like, because you have been consistent, because you have proven that we can trust you, because you're making us feel safe and seen, then we can submit to you. I mean, for me, I don't want to say we like all women, because I know some women feel like submission is like a horrible thing. I agree with submission to the right man. I feel like a man who can lead, a man who makes me feel safe and seen, I don't mind submitting to that. I'm independent all the way, but I have no problem being interdependent with the right person, because I know that would be the type of person who would allow me to be myself and not make me be somebody that I'm not. It's not going to be an abuse of submission. It would be me being submissive to someone who can lead, someone who is a true king, someone who really is going to be ahead, someone who really will be strong. I'm not saying strength comes in appearance or anything like that. Your strength is in your wisdom. Your strength is in your discipline. Your strength is in who you are. It's not in, I'm saying I'm the type of woman because I don't want to generalize all women, but I'm the type of woman who cares more about wisdom than I care more about the body. And I'm not saying it's not nice to see people with good bodies. And I do have preferences of things that I am interested in or not interested in, but that's not the only thing that I care about. That's just the thing, to me. What really matters to me is wisdom. TG said something in his video once, and it's so true, that the mind is the the most powerful sexual organ on your body. And it's true, because once you can penetrate someone's mind, man, you got it going on. You thought I was going to say something else, but yeah, I just kept it real simple there. But yeah, like that wisdom, not everybody has that. And I think for some people, you don't understand how powerful the mind is and how necessary it is to have that communication, how important it is to be stimulated in your mind, because eventually in life, when different things happen with your body, changing and everything else, your mind is going to be the thing that really keeps you there, because you could have a deeper connection. And I know I'm talking to a lot of people my age are rolling their eyes and they don't really care, because they're like, you don't know what you talk about. But I literally, I'm on an island by myself for real most of the times. When I talk to people that are my age, there's me and maybe I'll meet like 1 out of 100 women that say this, or 1,000 women that will say, oh yeah, I truly only care about, this, or I'm not just looking for somebody to be something that I'm not, or I'm not just expecting to be in a relationship to post photos. Most of the women that I meet, that I have a conversation with, want a man because they want to post vacation photos, because they want someone to be there as a warm body, because they don't want to feel alone, because they feel like they don't know what their purpose is, because they feel like this man is going to be the answer to all of the questions that they had. Like all of a sudden it's like national treasure or whatever that movie is. Like the man is going to be the key to unlock everything. Like, he's just going to be the end all be all. And once I get this man, I've accomplished everything. And I don't think that's true. People probably will be rolling their eyes, say negative comments, whatever else, because I said that. But your life continues. Like, what are you going to do after you get with the man? Because you still keep living after that, right? You still have a purpose to finish. You still have your life that you have to live. And yes, you will be living your life with someone else, but I know a relationship is more about taking vacation photos or taking photos online to make it look as if we're happy. I truly want to be happy. I want to have joy over happiness in a relationship. I'm not looking for someone to just be my happiness. I want to make myself happy, and that person makes me laugh, and that's great. That joy that I get, I want to have that type of joy and peace that only comes from God. That's the type of relationship I want. I want to put in the work for the relationship. I want to actually have real conversations. I want to actually be there for a person. I want to be submissive to the person that I'm with. I want to be obedient to the person that I'm with. And I want that person to be a leader. I want them to be the strength when I'm weak, because they are the stronger vessel, not because I'm not strong as well. I think that relationships are about work and intentionality and a choice. I know it's not just about a photo. Do I love taking photos? Of course I love taking photos. I would take a photo right now. Like, I love taking photos so much, but I don't post most of the photos. A lot of the times you'll see on my social media sites, I have a photo and it's attached to something that I learned from a sermon, or it's attached to some kind of life lesson or something like that. I'm not posting a photo because I want to make it look like my life is perfect, or I want to look like I don't have no problems. I'm posting the photo because I just like taking pictures. And when I'm with someone, I don't post them. I would not post anyone unless they felt comfortable being posted. And when I get married, I don't know if I will or will not post a photo, because it's not about other people. I'm not doing it so I can get a head nod from other people, acknowledgement, so that they can be like, oh girl, I'm so happy for you, or pretend like they're happy for me. I would be married because I choose this person. It's not about anybody else, you know? And yes, I know other people will be affected by the relationship. I just mean that I wouldn't be doing it for someone else. I would be doing it for God. I would be doing it to glorify the kingdom, and I would be doing it because I want to add to the world, because I feel like we could add to each other, not because I need something. I mean, because I want something. It would be because I need whatever it is that we would both need something, and we would give that to each other, you know? So I was really feeling some type of way when I saw that comment earlier, and I was listening to that podcast. I was like, we really got to stop being so hard on each other. It's okay to be empowering. It's okay to be empowered, but we don't need to put each other down to do it. It's time for us to really lift each other up and to be the thing that we're seeking. If we want that in a friend, we need to be that. If we want that in a relationship, we need to be that. If we want that in a job, we need to be a good worker. That's just what we have to do. We got to put in work. It's not going to be easy. Nobody said that the road was going to be easy, but we have came way too far to give up. So keep going. All right. Thank you for watching. Have a good night. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.